And we're here, Mr. Bill Bushart.
Thank you.
The man, the myth, the legend, comedian,
Yes.
antiques dealer.
Yeah.
Lives in the coolest house I've ever seen in my entire life. It's an amazing place.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sure my wife will too.
All right, we're just gonna get into it. Who's your favorite student and why?
Who's my favorite student now?
Yeah.
Well, we're getting into this out of the game. You are, Pary.
Thank you. That was the answer. That was the correct answer.
You're the best, buddy.
How long have you been in stand-up, and why in the world did you do this to yourself?
I've been doing stand-up for about 23, 25 years, somewhere in there. And I took a class one day at the Comedy Castle. I saw an ad in the back of the Metro Times, and I was looking for something in my life, and took this class to try to figure out what stand-up was all about. And one thing led to another, and I just kept doing it, and here we are. Just never stopped, really. Just fortitude.
Where'd you see this ad?
It was in the back of the Metro Times.
Is that a newspaper?
Yes. You know what the Metro Times is? Yeah, that's a newspaper. We used to have newspapers.
I've seen the online articles.
It was a physical newspaper where you would hold it in your hands.
You would read that?
Well, I wouldn't read it, but I'd look at it. I don't think anybody reads it. You just look at the dirty ads. So, anyway.
What do you... What do you think is the biggest mistake that young comedians make? Like, if it was before anyone gets on stage and they're writing and they're at your class, what's the biggest thing they do wrong and how can they improve it? He teaches a class, by the way. Like, that's how I got into it. Was like I joined his class and then I was like, okay, we're gonna do this for the rest of our lives.
I just think not being prepared. I think sometimes when people go up, like I had it actually last night. I had a show where I didn't think I was prepared enough for it, and just that prep time ahead of time, being prepared.
23 years to prepare.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. So, but I wasn't in the right mental space. Just get ready when you go up, and know what you're gonna say, and believe in the material.
Well, okay, that's. But isn't that hard for someone who hasn't been doing it long enough to believe in their material because they don't?
Well, you gotta believe in something. I mean, you're doing this for a reason. You obviously think you're funny to some extent, or you wouldn't be even trying. You know what I mean? There's something inside of you that nobody else can control that's telling you to do this, that's pushing you to do this. So, this is such a personal thing. Stand-up is for people, and I think it's hard. When you take a class, people, I teach in a comedy class. I'm just trying to teach a public speaking class that has kind of emphasis on comedy. The rest of that stuff of fortitude to becoming a comedian, I can't help you with that. When you start going out and doing this, that's whoever's inside of you, man. That's what makes it happen.
You can't teach someone to be funny.
Well, and you can't also teach them to stick with it. You can't also teach them that there's going to be disappointments, and a lot of them along the way, and then how to deal with that. That's the people who have been doing it for a long time. I have respect for, because I know how brutal it can be sometimes, and to fight through and be able to do it consistently and be a part of the Detroit comedy scene and stuff. It's fun, man. It's fun to watch people continue with it, because people drop off all the time. It's just, who's going to be here 5 years from now?
That was one of the questions I asked you. Like, when I first started, I was like, how many people actually continue in the class? And you're like, it depends on if they want to or not.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
if they want to, the opportunity exists.
Yes, it's right there in front of you. But that's really, it's more than just telling jokes. It's all that other things about life and how badly you want something, really.
I didn't realize how, because I was always a good public speaker, but I never actually realized how different, because when you're doing like public speaking, like giving a speech or stuff like that, everyone always claps at the end.
Yeah. It
doesn't matter if you did poorly or well, it's always the same response at the end. Stand-up is not like that. Like, you'll know if you're good or not. I've never been booed off stage, but I have had enough reception to where it's like, let's just stop talking.
Well, that happens. But you know what? You get applauded when you walk right out the door and you've done nothing.
That's the opposite, isn't it? Yeah. Before they hear you speak.
Pary, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Then you start talking, they're like, oh, we wasted those.
Yeah. Like, that's 5 minutes we'll never get back of our lives. All right, what would you say, in your career particularly, what was the biggest mistake you made as a comedian?
I would say I should have gone probably to New York, or probably New York.
When?
How
many years in?
20 years ago.
Oh wait, that really?
I should have gone in the beginning. But live and learn. It's funny when you get involved in comedy. I didn't even expect to be doing it this long. It just, I had day jobs and stuff, and one thing just led to another, and I just kept doing it, and so then I just became what is known as a road comic or a local comic. I do a lot of bar gigs and VFWs and fundraisers, and the comedy scene is just kind of, it's different than the club scene. It's a different energy. It's just a different energy when you go out and you do a bar in the middle of, you know,
nowhere.
West Branch,
Yeah.
you know, on a Thursday, and you know, it's just a different type of animal. So I love bar gigs, and I love what I do in the comedy scene, but it's just a different life. That's all than other comedians might live. Everybody has their own path they take in this. You know?
Is it like humbling to know that like you helped make this comedy scene?
I didn't help make anything. Just what happened on its own, man.
I don't know. The majority of human beings know who you are, and they've been to Mark Ridley.
That's just because I've been around forever, and it's because I'm associated with the club. And you know, when they asked me to do that class, that's another thing. I didn't think I'd stick with this long, but I think I've learned how to become a good teacher of trying to help people express their ideas. Maybe not so much of stand-up, but organizing their thoughts and getting them out where people can understand where the humor is and what they're saying. So kind of a director in that way, I guess, to some extent. But you know, people make it themselves here. I have nothing to do with any of that. You know, anybody who has any success in this business, it's on them, man. I mean, people help along the way, but it's really that once again, whatever's pushing you. So.
Yeah, I will say the majority of the class is like, you tell them to write, and then you tell them to come prepared and present.
Yeah.
So that's a huge, I think maybe for, how do you prepare? Like, when you write, do you write like with a pencil and journal, just go at it?
I walk around this house and I'll just rant about things, and I actually wrote a couple down today that I had that I'm going to try tonight at the show just to see if they work. And you know, that's how I do things. I just try to talk it out, and I try to write it down and try to figure out how it fits with what I got going already, just so I can extend some laughs and whatnot. So me, it's more about you know, a lot about energy and how I can make it work.
Do you?
You know.
So like the way that I write is I will have like everything I do on stage is like pre-written, like word for word I will say what I wrote in my journal. Sure. And I think, is that wrong?
Because there's no right or wrong, man. It's that's great. Word for what you got. There's no rules here. You know, if they're laughing, it's right. The only rule, you know, I always say for new comedians is just do your time. Just get off when they tell you to get off. But the rest in between, if they're laughing and it's entertaining, and because it's your fingerprint, man. Nobody's going to do it like you. So just keep doing what you do and what seems right to you. You'll have people tell you not to do this, not to do that. What the hell do they know?
I know, I'm like, Mom, really?
Yeah.
Your
mother.
Yeah.
She's a problem, Pary.
Look, people, when I tell my jokes to like my mom, my sister all the time, even though my mom is like, that's really good you're doing comedy, but how about grad school? I was like...
Comedy is grad school in a way. You know, the skills are taken away from stand-up. You can apply them, you know, to anything. If you're getting to a company or something, you have to get up and speak. There's nothing better than an effective public speaker. I don't care if it's in comedy or in business or in church or wherever, man. If you can get up there and deliver the message and do it effectively, where people remember and they want to hear you again, yes, that's the fun stuff.
What's your least favorite part about stand-up?
Right now, my least favorite part is probably driving. I do a lot of driving, but you know, I love it, man. I can't find anything really wrong with it. You know, I don't like having bad sex.
Right. Well, I mean, nobody does. I mean, like the driving, yeah, because
it gets to be a grind, you know, after a while. But so I'd say that really, that's the low point. You know,
that's not really a low point either.
I don't do a lot of like we used to have a lot more clubs in the area too, so that's kind of a bummer that those went away. But you know, I don't have a normal life sometimes too. I work a lot on the weekends. Me and my wife don't go out a lot and stuff, so that stuff's just a way on you after a while, just because you like to see So I had a weekend off a couple weeks ago, and I had no idea what to do with myself on a Friday and Saturday night, man. It was just weird. I wanted to go to a comedy club just to watch some stand-up and just be around it, because yeah, it's just weird to be away. And when you don't work for a weekend, it seems like 2 years. Like, I'll never do this again. I'm never gonna work again.
I don't like my thing is I can't even do what many people do. Like, I'm not able to go on stage multiple times a week. I guess I never told you this actually, but I guess I'm telling you now. Whenever I go on stage, it takes so much like mental power of mine to actually just do my act. And I mean, I'm not like bouncing off the walls high energy. It's not like physically moving around. It's just like I'm totally zoned in into what the audience is doing. Like, I can see everything, and I'm like, I know, like all my senses are heightened, and I cannot go
like Spider-Man, Pary.
Yeah, basically. But like, it's like a huge high.
Yeah.
Like when you're on there, it's like, holy crap, man, this is what's up.
I was just thinking about that high today, and that's something I don't like too. Is the next day the crash from coming down.
Yeah, that's
because you can ride it out for a while. The next day you're just kind of depressed because you were up here, like you're saying,
and then you go back to your day job, and you're like,
now you know why people do drugs in this business.
I can see why.
You want to keep that high going. So.
But when I We're not advocating.
No, not advocating at all,
but it happens.
It does.
But I don't, like, my limit is like 2 times a week. Because I'm just like drained of all energy like once I leave the stage. And 2 times, like I can go like multiple in one night.
Well, you need to be doing it 6 times a week, my man.
I know, that's what I'm working towards. I can't.
I know it's hard though, but you know there's spots around here to do it. But you got things going on in your life, and that's understandable. So
yeah, it's not that like the opportunity exists. It's just that like I have to just get better at like
making your way to the open mics.
I don't know. I just get so tired. Like I feel like because if I go on.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
You're not
tired.
There's no tired there. There's no tired.
Okay, but like I don't want to go on stage and not give like the best thing I can do.
Yeah. Well, but you know sometimes you got to go up there and flounder a little bit. Sometimes you got to go on open mic where people aren't that receptive just to get that experience too. You know, don't set yourself up for success every time. Eat it as much as possible. You'll become stronger for it.
Maybe that is what I'm doing, just setting myself up for success, I think.
Yeah, why would you set yourself up for success?
It's a horrible idea, yeah. Why would anyone think to do that?
Now that I say it out loud, it makes you sound like an idiot, so.
Wait, but don't take advice from me.
Yeah, what the hell do you know? You're 23.
Yeah. What would you think is a huge advantage of going to New York early?
I don't know, just because of the scene, you'd get stronger, better comedians, I guess. More opportunities.
But is it more valuable? The reason I've really thought about going to New York, like if I just get a job over there or switch, or because like the job that I work is not hard for me to go to like a different state and just work there, because I'm a genius. But like besides the comedy thing, like I felt that if I wasn't like good enough here, I know I'm not going to be like anything over there. So that's why I chose to stay here in Detroit. I don't know, is that a good idea or a bad idea?
I mean, if you're starting out saying you're not good at, you know.
I just started comedy.
Well,
so
it doesn't mean you're not good. It doesn't mean you're not good. It means you're new. There's a big difference.
Okay.
Being good at something and being new at something, you're still learning how. So that's a good training ground, good proving ground. This is what I was getting at. It's probably why I thought maybe I should have gone there, because more of a, you know, it's New York City. I mean.
Well, yeah, that's the comedy capital planet.
So you know what I'm saying. All right. Next question.
Is there... I'm still stuck on that one, to be honest, but we're gonna... Because, okay, I know that sometime if I actually want to, like, really go somewhere with, like, my career, New York is, like, the best hub, because just on one block, there's, like, 10 places you can perform. You can just bounce, like, all in one night. Like, I've been in New York only once before, and that was a strange experience, but is there... I know there's no, like, rules, like, success in this thing, but, like, is there a optimal time in your career to like travel to New York?
Do it now.
Why?
There's no optimal times. Optimal times, I don't even know what that means.
Because if I'm new, like I'm not
doesn't matter. Go be new. You could go be new there and start building that network and start meeting people. And then next thing you know, I'm watching NBC and there's a new sitcom called Hey Pary, and it's starring you.
Somebody should write that down right now. Hey Pary, that's pretty cool.
But you know what I mean? We build these, and I did this too. We build these barriers for ourselves that I won't, it wouldn't work out. Hey, you know, you got to take chances. That's the fun thing about stand-up too. Is when you go out there, if you're not taking chances here and there, you're not doing it right. You know?
I know people who've had the same set for 2 years, and I'm like.
Well, you can do that. I mean, that's not a problem if you have jokes that you use and stuff. But yeah, but you got to break free and push the boundaries, I guess, or whatever. You know. I'll fade off on that one. You can take it from there.
No. Now I'm thinking in my head like, man, because what I do is like so if I have like a 5-minute set that works, I'll just keep like 80% of it, and then I have like a new 20. But is that really an effective way of trying new jokes?
I don't think of it like that. I just think of it as jokes as a whole. I don't ever break anything down. It's either fun. If it's funny, it's getting laughs, I'll use it again, and I'll try to build on that and try to make it into something more. And if, you know, so. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Other than the fact that I don't like to break it down into percentages, man. Like 80%.
Oh, I mean, I don't like
that's
count
how
the
I
number
do
of
it.
lines.
But you know what? I know what you're getting at. But I just get up there and tell jokes, man. Just do it.
Am I overthinking?
Learn, yeah. You're overthinking shit. Just you got to grab that microphone and have a mindset and do your material and figure it from there. I think that a lot of times too, with what you're saying, I see it all the time, and just with new comics is the building these walls that don't exist. These I can't walls. You can. People have. You should.
I might. We're gonna like. I mean, I have walls are very comforting because there's like structure. I don't know. I can't.
Probably, but you know we do that to ourselves because it's scary out there.
Yeah. And we're living in Detroit. I shouldn't have said that joke. I have a whole like. How many times have you been called out on being offensive against your own people? Like when you make fun of white people, is that wrong?
No.
The why do I get that? Like I've had people telling me not to make fun of Indians. Oh no, well they haven't said that. They're like, you can't say that. That's offensive to my culture. I'm like,
It's your culture too, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean yours? Like
people don't usually talk.
You don't patent that.
They usually just cover their eyes and walk past me.
Really? I at least give a few people. It's like, you know, I haven't seen your kind of people on the stage before. Ridley's was the best because I had it was this white lady came back after one of the grad shows, and then she was like, "So you're Mexican?" And I'm like, "No." And then she's like, "So what are you?" I was like, I had a whole bit about that.
She wasn't listening. Yeah. That's another thing I don't like about comedy. Things I don't like is when people come up to you after and they feel like they have to critique the show to you while they're standing, and you know, people the greeting line at the end, and they got to tell you their thoughts. I don't care. Go write your own act. I don't care about your review of me. I don't care. I don't care if you even like me at this point. Just go.
But it's only a comedy thing, because you after a concert you don't go up to like the singers and be like, hey, I don't like how you said that verse.
You know,
like
that.
It's only comedians. People are like, I don't like that joke. You should tell it different. I was like, you came to see me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's true.
It's only a comedy thing, and I can't figure out why. Although one thing I have like noticed the difference of,
like that's because bands don't. I don't think they go out and. Well, I guess they have to walk out of the concert hall, but they don't go out and shake everybody's hand. Right after the concert.
Maybe so they're just not. Oh, that
people are caught up in things. They want to be a part of it. You know what they liked and didn't like. So.
Yeah,
I don't like that, Terry. That's one of the things
that could be it.
I don't care for audience members. Is what I'm getting. In general,
you need an audience.
Yes, that's the irony, Pary.
That's a joke in there right there. Where's the coolest place you've had the opportunity to perform?
Oh, there's just been a ton of them. I think in Michigan right now, Comedy Castle, the Comedy Showcase in Ann Arbor is a great room. The Holly Hotel, great room. I love the Holly Hotel. You know, are you talking locally and stuff? You know,
I was talking like anywhere on God's green earth.
You know, I've worked Comedy on State in Wisconsin, which is a great club. Dr. Grins in Grand Rapids is always a great place because I love the city of Grand Rapids. So whenever I get a chance to work there, I'm excited. So I've worked a lot of great rooms. I've had a lot of great opportunities, and it's been fun, man. It's been a good ride.
Do you think it makes a difference whether? Well, I mean, actually, if you're a newer comic, it does. But like when you become a more experienced comic, is there more value in performing at a comedy club as opposed to just a bar?
Probably. You know, people are going in there to see a comedy show. Sometimes they're going to a bar, they don't know they're there seeing a show.
Yeah, it's like it's just an empty night. It's like, let's have a comedy
I will say this though too. A lot of those one-nighters in those offshoot towns and stuff are great. They're fantastic. You know, that's all they have, so they show up to have a good time. And those are, you know, it's if you kill and nobody there is there to see it, that matters. Did you really kill? You know what I mean? If you do real well so these are moments you create for yourself in your life, and you know, you just hang on to those. I know I've done well at shows, and I know I've eaten it at shows. I mean, that's just how it is. So.
But okay, one of the things that I do, like whenever I'm trying to like figure out where I'm trying to go, and this might be a mistake, but I make it a point to like go to comedy clubs more, and I go to bars less for that reason. Like, because when I'm at Ridley's, they're there for me.
Yeah, they're just seats.
But if I'm at like a bar, some open mic night, it's like they're not there for me.
Yeah.
Like they're there, and then I just happen to be off on the side. So that's why, like, I purposefully don't go to bars as often anymore.
You got to do those too. You got to do it all, man. You can't just do it all. Get in there, do it all, Pary.
But it doesn't mean
do it all, Pary. There's your NBC sitcom. Do it all, Pary. But this time you're repairing things.
Repairing things?
Yes, thank you.
That's gonna be an episode on there.
Second, two shows thought of today. Hello, Pary, and
Hey there, Pary.
Hey there, whatever.
Whatever it is. Like, that's our time, man.
Oh, already?
That's it. That's the whole thing.
Well, goodbye, Detroit. Thank you, Pary.
Don't you want to tell them where they can find the classes?
If you want to find out about the comedy classes we have at the Comedy Castle in Royal Oak, you can go to comedycastle.com. or look me up on Facebook, Bill Bushart, and you can message me and I'll give you any information you need. Also, you can check out my fan page for upcoming shows, and have a good life.
Yeah, his phone number is 248. I'm just kidding.
It is
But
not.
all of his social media will be in the link down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay fresh, stay golden.